This is the Safe Sex song by Stephen Cogswell. Get it at awtfy.com. That's awtfy.com/safe.
With a whole bunch of white people asking the black guy, do you rap? And so his rap was...
That's fact, still kids are safe, having sex with the safe, that's why it's called safe sex. Ha ha, that's what kids are calling it. I'm wrong.
My one knows the causes on. I'm
Brian, did you want to know? There's some other people. We only wrote them songs for the movie that should have probably 9 songs. But we're just gonna sing these same 3 songs all the time and then lose the moonlight.
Shit, chat room.
You tore your body asunder and made 2 copies of yourself. How'd you do that when you pay the other version of yourself?
That song was a banger.
Dat, rat, doe.
That was really a stinker.
It's my favorite review! That was a stinker! Welcome to Night Attack! Hello, you beautiful citizens of the internet. It's gotta be Tuesday night, which of course means I'm live in Austin, Texas. Joined, as always, by my BFF and OAKSJRY, Justin Robert Young from Oakland, California. Hey, buddy, what you up to? How you doing? Yeah, are you having safe sex?
I am. Oh, every day I'm rubbing my right on that metal and I try to figure out the combination with my jizz pulse.
So, how does your wife feel about that?
How
How does that conversation go?
tell you what, at least the money's safe.
She's just like, have you unlocked it yet? I mean, I believe you'll get there one day. You told me there's $1 billion in there, Justin.
And I'll tell you what, either we're going to enjoy that bounteous money, or it'll crust over forevermore, only to be found by a future civilization.
She's like, every one of your failures only brings us farther from that fortune. What are you doing? I can't even turn the handle anymore.
Brian, we got a hell of a show, of course. Joining us as always, Bonnie Brushwood.
Hello. And of course, Bryce Neshkov Castillo on the boards.
Hi, everybody.
I don't think I've ever heard you punch out so hard on a bid. This is the equivalent of just a hard no.
Nope.
No.
We're gonna stop and do a 3-point turn and get right back on the other direction.
I mean, I don't know, because I felt bad because I got us into a cum-encrusted safe, and, like, I just really had no idea how to get out of it. Like, once the safe is encrusted in old cum, like, what's the yes and to that?
Hey man, can I give you an overview of what our last 48 hours? Can I just decompress? It's been a lot.
Let's go. Get it out. Shout, let it all out.
So I have a confession to make. On Friday, I think it was, I started getting texts saying, by the way, if you're a YouTube creator, in the movies they say, when somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yeah.
Modern day equivalent is when you're a YouTube creator and somebody says in all caps, urgent sponsorship opportunity, what do you say?
Please, yes,
Yeah,
to
thank
me.
you. Yes, that's exactly what you do.
I would like to take that urgent sponsorship opportunity. By the way, now you also know the hack to actually get Brian to answer your email.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get so many emails that say urgent sponsorship opportunity. There is a project that is coming out in Hollywood that's coming up in a couple of weeks, and they gave us the opportunity. They're like,
Are we able to talk about it? Because, I mean, we told people on the Modern Rogue Discord and the Patreon.
I guess, do we just want to, I mean, why not?
There's a movie coming out in a couple weeks.
Everything about it sounds like something I'm really excited about, so
Yeah.
I don't
I mean, the
mind
point is to
telling
promote
the whole
it.
world.
The point of it is promotion.
Yeah.
So theoretically,
But-
more promotion for this thing is good.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing, folks. Behind the new movie coming out, Mile 22.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Mark Wahlberg movie. You watch the video, and it's got the Eco, who I can never pronounce his last name. The guy from The Raid. He's fucking amazing. He's fucking amazing. If you've not seen the Raid or the Raid 2, then shame on you. And
but it's very action heavy, very
was
choreography
he the one
heavy.
also in Force Awakens? Was he Conchi Club?
Yes.
He shows up for like half a second, and then and what's funny is Jason was saying like he shows up in Force Awakens, and he's like, holy motherfucking shit, are they about to do what I think they're about to do? And then the answer was no, they're not. So
but tell that to Kanji Club, and they point, and he's fucking Kanji Club.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So at any rate, we got to shoot a Monorague episode. They're very last minute back and forth. They're like, hey, if you want to actually have access to one of the stars of this movie, we can make something happen that fits in with your show. And we're like, holy shit, man, Eco would be fucking amazing. I don't know what we could do. They're like, I don't know, maybe he could teach you some badass fight choreography and stuff. And we're like, are you fucking kidding me? That's great, let's do this. And so they ended up booking a space because originally I was like, well, okay, we can all fly out to the YouTube space in LA and we can learn some, whatever fight choreography stuff. But they were like, that's not big enough. In fact, we booked another space. So they booked us a legit ass, like a place. Here's photos.
A real boxing ring.
Yeah.
The Wild Card
And-
West.
Oh shit, it's amazing.
So
You guys look great.
that's Eco and
Sam.
and
Sam
Sam
Loke.
Loke, Looc, who is a huge big time fight choreographer. Like look at his IMDb. He's done all the stuff. It was amazing because we showed up early, Sam showed up early, and we were just kibitzing because the day before, it's like, okay, what can we do? We don't know what they're going to bring to the table, but we feel like there's something that would match the Monorague. So we're trying to think of ways to that we could drive things that would be about tricks to do an action sequence. But
we've done like martial arts, we've done jujitsu, we've done Krav Maga things, so it's in line with the show.
Right. So and we had
physical stuff.
literally no idea what they were bringing to everything. So we show up and Sam is loading in all of these mats and stuff, and we're like, hi, Sam, I'm Brian, I'm Jason, or whatever. Like, they're like, hey, so I don't know what you know about our show. And he's like, no, seen a bunch of your episodes, it's great. Here's what I think we should do. Me and Eco should do a fight choreography sequence, and then we'll teach it to you guys, and then you do it. And we're like, you just described the format of our show. That sounds great. And then it's like, so we spent the next 90 minutes hanging out and just geeking out about Sam's back catalog of stuff, and he's showing us a bunch of projects that he's done in the past and stuff that he's done with his kids and so on. And then Eco shows up, and it was so wild because I see Eco comes in. Obviously, he's got handlers because he's a big Hollywood star. Swoops in, hops in there, and they sort of chat, and they're like, no, we'll do, and then this, and then 2 of these, and then 5, and then whatever. And we're like, okay. And then at this point, I'm looking over at Bryce and Brant. I'm like, so you guys are ready? And we're like, okay. Well, we wanted to open with a sequence of you guys doing a thing, whatever it is we're about to learn, and go.
So they take 60 seconds. And improv, like they figure out, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and they do it once. They go through it once, like with their shorthand,
sort of half-assed, like sort of flopping their arms around, like and then this and then that, then that.
Yeah. Like they're even like describing it with the onomatopoeia, like we do a whoosh and then the whoosh and the whoop whop, and
then they say that. Then there's this moment. There was like, okay, so we are recording now, and we are very aware that we have exactly 1 hour. With
60
this
minutes.
Extremely talented.
Like anything you can't get. As soon as clock big hand gets to the top, you're fucking wrapped.
Exactly. So we're like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're recording now, so however you want to go, and then all of a sudden, the motherfucking intensity goes from 0 to 75 as it just dials up. Like out of the corner of my eye, I see 2 grown men actually having a murderous fight against each other.
Yeah.
That ends with one of them jabbing each other in the throat, flipping his body over and slamming it on the ground.
Yeah.
And then instantly helping each other up and be like,
hey,
you
so
get
do you want
that?
to do you want to get it again?
Yeah.
You want to get closer?
They're like,
and then we did, and then they did it again perfectly.
I was fun. Okay, to be clear, I kind of want to hint that there was a little bit of implied. Do you need that a second time? Is because we will do that for you because
I didn't
we
read
know
that.
we nailed it. We just don't know if you got it.
Oh, I didn't read that at all.
Although I would assume that it's kind of the stunt man way, right? Is like they're there to fall down the stairs as many times as they need to do. So I think they'll always be the like, oh, good, because I can keep falling down the stairs as many times as you need because that's my job. I'm a prop.
And they were talking
let
after.
me know when the prop is properly filmed.
They were talking afterwards, like, you know, they would have entire days just trying to get one shot right because it's between, you know, the actors and the cameramen and all the
There was a great moment when they were talking about the trailer. I hope I'm not talking out of school. I hope I'm not making these. But Sam and Nico have worked together a lot. But there's one moment in the trailer that they're talking about like how prominently featured Sam is at one point. Because Sam's more the fight choreographer, and of course Iko is more of the star. But he says, "Oh, there's one moment you see Sam, you know, front and center in the trailer." He's like, "There's two moments." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I was your foot double." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh." Well, there was that one shoot when you had to leave and they needed somebody to pick the locks of their handcuffs and you were already gone and they needed a backup shot. So they just asked me to strip down to my underwear. And those are actually my feet and hands in this one shot. And it was amazing to see the delight on Iko's face where he was just like, "Oh, that's fantastic."
That's hilarious.
So it might have been the apotheosis of what I ever hoped the Modern Rogue would be, because they did their fight choreography thing, and then there came that there's a bit of us talking about, like, you know, what does it take to do it, and then there came this moment when they were like, well, so how do you want this to be? Do you want Brian to fight Iko and Jason to fight Sam or whatever? And I realized, like, I'm running it through the engine of, like, what are the comments going to say? What are the comments going to say? And I was like, it's got to be Brian and Jason trying to replicate what we just saw.
Oh, yeah. No. It has to be. And you have to do, like, a fake movie poster where you guys are, like, facing off that it's the Modern Rogue action movie.
So, again, we have 1 hour. And so we decide that me and Jason are going to try to go through all the steps. And all of a sudden, and again, because Sam and Iko are like super pros, you know, they're very aware of the position of the cameras. They know what their role is. They try to break everything down for us. They explain to us like, hey, be doing this. And then very quickly, look, our audience has seen me try to learn dance moves. Not bad.
Varied results.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
A very different thing.
I gotta interrupt you.
Yes.
So how connected with their comments, being these pros, are they to the YouTube comments?
Well,
like, do you?
They
think
were focused on making it look good.
correct.
Right.
And in fact, they were preemptively saying, so my goal, the moment they did their opening thing, we got 2 takes of that, and it looked fucking great. Like it's going to be an amazing action sequence or whatever. Then there's us talking about how fight choreography works, and then there's us learning individual moves, and you're going to watch us basically, you know, like, do this, do that, and you're going to hear the comments where all of a sudden they become directors, and they're all like, I don't feel like you really want to kill him. I don't feel like he murdered your family. Like, let that rage out. Get loose. Like, you want to murder him. Slash his neck left and then right and then stab him in the middle or whatever. And all I'm thinking is like, I just want the comments at the end of this to say, wow, I'm surprised at how good Brian and Jason really sold this. And so, meanwhile, like, I'm looking at Jason, both of us wearing T-shirts and jeans, and I am feeling like I'm just projecting this real rage. And
When it was time to do it, you ramped up in a way that almost felt personal because they said to start off at about like 60-70%, and you came in at 120.
I was like, I think at one point I shouted, "You like my family? How do they taste, you motherfucker?" And I started just slashing around with a fake knife.
Jesus.
I really wanted to embody, like, I wanted to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, he's got to do it for the show. Like, that's the whole point.
I mean, which I realized only after the fact. Like, Jason was the hero in this scenario.
Yeah, you were kind of the bad guy.
Attacker.
You had the knife.
I was coming at him at a knife, but I was like shouting exposition as I did it. I'm like, I have a very good reason why I'm attacking you. So the surprising part was, I think we did pretty good. Like, I think by the time.
Wait, I mean,
oh, spoiler alert for the episode. I don't know. There was this moment that it really was. How can I say this without making anyone feel bad? When you do a dance reality competition show,
He was Brian. I think I got this. We were better than Sam and Nico.
no, of course we weren't.
So yeah, I mean that's just the way that you can say it, where nobody's feelings get hurt. You were better than the professionals who make a living doing it in like less than an hour, and then take
like
out the time
45
that
minutes,
they
even
had-
like not even really close, like plenty of time.
20 minutes immediately. You were better performers than the professionals.
I will not take that bait, but I will say that there was like a real connection, with me and Jason Murphy, where I think both of us suddenly turned into 12-year-old children, and we were living the best version of our 40-plus-year-old selves because we were actually doing the moves, and we were being coached by legitimate fucking Hollywood rock stars, and we seemed to be doing it, and the only notes we were getting were not what you're doing is unsafe, not you need to stop and I don't want to be associated with this, but instead like more anger, act better. You know, like it was fucking amazing. It was fucking amazing. And that's it. Basically what just happened is it got too real, and I went back to that moment and I realized how precious the last 48 hours have been for me, not only in terms of me and Jason hopefully pulling off a whatever action sequence, but also the fact that our team at the very last minute was able to hop on a plane and fly out and secure Airbnb and set everything up and put on our professional faces in front of real Hollywood types and somehow come out the other side. And then I remember looking at the end at the clock, and somebody said, "Huh, we even wrapped up early." And I was just like, what? It made me very, very happy. I am unbelievably excited to share all of this with you, and everybody we worked with was just the best ever.
The video will be out in about 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, well, the movie comes out on the 17th, and so I think we're going to aim to release. Normally, we release on Fridays, but I think we're going to try to release it on the Thursday on the 16th.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Mile 22, catch it.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was really something. Like, even now, looking at this Instagram picture, makes me unbelievably happy.
Man.
It was so much fun.
Good. So good.
I like that Eco doesn't really want, like, his face kind of looks like he doesn't want to.
He was just like, it's wrong to murder a person.
Like Jason and Eco should switch faces.
Yeah.
Whereas
Jason
Sam is
looks
just
like the one who's trying to murder somebody, and Eco looks like the person who's unsure of what's happening.
So Eco's face says, "I think this is the guy that wrote that movie that I might act in next." Whereas Sam's face is, "This is the dude who taught the invisible deck."
Tell you what, that's actually a great segue, because we got to get into a little bit of con talk.
Oh,
Brian.
con talk. You thought
A
Scam School
lot
was
of
a
con
thing?
talk, a lot of con information for you if you would like to see either Brian or Brian and I together We've got some con updates, and you mentioned some the Invisible Deck. You are going to Magic Live in the next week and a half.
Yeah, no. So originally I was
August 5th.
gonna go in 2 weeks to DEF CON. Because obviously there's a lot of crossover with the hacker community, but then somebody was like, oh, well, I'll be there for Magic Live the day before. And there were so many people who were like, oh, I'm just going to miss you. Why don't you come to Magic Live? And I was like, because I'm scared. That's the reason is because despite having appeared on the cover of Magic Magazine, I don't know that I'm universally beloved by all magicians out there for my 11-year history.
No one will be, though.
Well, I guess
if you can't please everyone, don't act like you can do that. Don't act like anyone can.
We're gonna find out.
Hey, fucking a French drop your platitude, Bryce.
No, what I'm saying is like that's a word
you don't
need
know
to put
these
on
fuckers.
yourself.
You don't know these fuckers. These people are fucking vipers. And,
That's what I'm saying is you can't please everyone.
No, there are a few people that are specifically
that have made
out.
hay.
Yeah.
And they will all be nice to Brian's face, and then they will all gossip behind Brian's back. So it's like I can understand. Again, Magic is 12 people wide and 12 people tall.
Sure.
And 12, one row of 12 is annoyed with Brian because he teaches Magic on the internet. And largely because they are frustrated by the fact that an internet exists and they don't know how to use their email. There's a lot of deep-seated anger there.
We've talked about this. My position is that the job of a magician is to be a very good chess player, and I understand that if what you would like is to go from town to town, being the best chess player in town, one strategy might be to make sure that nobody knows the rules of chess except for you. I am not of that ilk. I am of the mindset that everybody should know as much about chess as possible, so that only the very, very best chess players can make a living going town to town playing chess.
And I would like young children to be able to learn these lessons in the privacy and safety of their own home instead of forcing them into groups where they will be preyed on by pedophiles.
Well, first of all, I would never say that. However, I will say that there are an awful lot of local clubs where they take people and teach them how to keep a secret.
I'm saying I'm saying there is a problem in the magic industry, and if you want to fight me about it, I will literally, I will literally throw hands because it's a problem in the magic industry, and Brian is literally doing a tremendous good for not only magic but for the youth of America
and internationally, because I believe that a little girl in Afghanistan who has access to the internet should be able to learn the magic.
And by the way, people are saying, didn't we talk about this last week? No. That wasn't a joke. That was a very serious comment, and we can move on from there. So
correct.
Magic Live is in Vegas, and then you're staying in Vegas and doing DEF CON, right?
Yeah, man. In fact, I'm going to fly out Jason Murphy because I realized, Jason Murphy has kept showing up on everything that I've done forever, and I realized, a big part of DEF CON is that moment of, I'm sure you show, what was it, 30, 40, 50,000 people showing up for DEF CON, right? And then I'm hoping that when they see me and Jason Murphy together, they'll recognize us as those guys from that thing they almost can remember what it was, and then hopefully buy a trick deck of cards. And then after that, you and I go to what, Dragon Con? Is that next?
No.
Dragon Con
I guess
August
Dragon Con.
30th.
Real quick, though, this weekend I will be at GenCon.
Oh, shit.
In Indianapolis. So Escape Room Indy is where we're going to be. It's an escape room literally a block off the convention center. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be selling contenders. And holy shit, am I trying to break my fucking back to get Action Newses, which are in our distribution warehouse, have yet to be processed. So I'm just hitting the refresh button every 5 seconds so I can overnight 10 copies to Indianapolis. So at the very least, people can demo it. But that's the idea. Hopefully that'll be the case.
This is actually a pretty good moment to press pause on our crazy tour for the next however many months and talk about the reality of what makes it possible for us to go to conventions, because at some point there has to be a reason that we hop on a plane and go to a place for a convention, and hopefully that reason involves some if not Franklins, then at least Lincolns.
Well, I mean, look, DEF CON is a selling event for Brian. You're bringing a bunch of stuff for the scam school or scam stuff shop,
right? Yeah.
So it's like there's a reason for you to go there and sell. GenCon is a networking opportunity for me in my career as a game designer, and we can usually at least make enough money that we don't take a bath by selling stuff out of our bootleg little enclave in the escape room.
Yeah.
But we're at the point now where we're a demonstratable draw that either we are like booked as talent or we're there to sell. That's pretty much like the two reasons why we would go. And that's barring if a good friend threw a convention, then we're going because we're going. But
by the way, it's a good time to point out, like, for both of us, like, we neither of us are in a position where we can just go anywhere we want with no penalties. Like, if either of us, between the two of us, if we just announced we wanted to go to, let's say, and please don't get excited, St. Louis, but let's say we wanted to announce that this weekend we would be in St. Louis.
Which we will not be.
But
we will not be.
If we did, between the two of us, there are 23 other human beings' schedules that will be seriously affected by that move, and it makes it a little bit.
They need to be coordinated with.
Exactly, right?
There needs to be a thing there. So I'll tell you, we'll get to Dragon Con in a second. Let's also just real quick put on people's schedules. Of course, Scoopfest is happening in the beginning of October. No real note there except go to it because it's going to be really fun. But we got word in yesterday. Officially.
Breaking news, people. Breaking news. Get ready. Get ready. Buckle yourself in. What's this? It's a seatbelt. Why is it around you? Because you haven't buckled it yet. Now buckled it. It's still around you. Are you experiencing what it's like to have a seatbelt around you? Because you're gonna need it for what's about to happen. Here comes the words of the guy that's gonna justify that seatbelt being buckled up. Are you buckled up? I'm buckled up. Hey man, what time is it? What time of the year is it?
We have a panel.
Oh shit! That's not the answer to my question, but I feel chaos and tumult all around me. I'm glad I have this seatbelt on.
I'm sorry. I guess I lost the thread on the seatbelt metaphor. I mean, I didn't really.
I'm just saying. I'm glad I told everyone to buckle their seatbelt. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of casualties all around us. All right, are your seatbelts buckled?
It'd be like a 1950s scene where dad's allowed to drink as long as it's only beer in the front seat and no seatbelts were allowed.
That's right. Oh, my gosh. I'm glad that we tied this rope around our waists. What's up, Dad?
We have a panel at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
That will be in San Jose at the end of October.
This was very fun for me because you said some words and I was able to see Bryce's face, which nobody else was able to see. And what I saw was the wide eyes that come with, shit, so that's a thing. I guess I'm going to have to get ready for that.
Yeah. Exactly. You nailed it.
Oh, so
our panel is going to be about surviving the woodlands after Brian and I were kicked out as lepers from Justin TV for not playing video games enough. What we learned as podcasters that are now using Twitch as opposed to Twitch streamers that do podcasts. So that's why that was the panel that we pitched. It was accepted, and we are going to be there the Saturday of TwitchCon at 3 p.m. in the PJ Salton Theater.
So if I'm understanding the pitch correctly, and feel free to guide me to a smarter place than I am right now.
Also, by the way, we can just do whatever we want. They gave us a panel. So
Sure. But the pitch, as I understand it, is there are a number of Twitch people looking to expand their platform by adding a podcast to it. We are in the weird place of having been Twitch streamers back when it was Justin TV, not called Twitch, who were I don't want to cause beef, but some might say unceremoniously uninvited from Twitch and cast out into the wild. Oh my God, I felt the eye roll from over here, Bryce.
I don't.
But there was a brief moment in the wild. We had to figure out how we were going to hold on to our platform or whatever. Yeah. And so we are podcasters who are coming back to Twitch. And it won't just be us. There's a number of other people that we want to invite to the panel, right?
Certainly so. And we are going to do our best to book it out for everybody who's eye rolling. #narrative. Stick to the bit. So yeah, that's what it is. We are going to have a great time. So if you're going to be at TwitchCon, we are going to be at TwitchCon. We'll at the very least not only do that panel, but we'll definitely do a Night Attack meetup in downtown San Jose. So you're going to want to. You're going to want to be there if you are in the California area.
Should people expect something like a Night Attack or something a little different?
I think that will depend greatly on who else is interested in exploring this topic. If we perceive that a bunch of other content providers are like, I went through exactly this and I want to have a serious discussion about it, I would like to join your panel, then my guess is we would play it straight and then on top of that do a Night Attack or whatever. But if literally we're the only ones who have had this experience, then get ready for Night Attack live at Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be an hour. If it's just Brian and I, then Brian and I can't be on the phone together without doing Night Attack. So we're just going to do the Night Attack tale of where we were, where we went, and where we are now. You know, and that's effectively what the idea is.
Separate thing.
Probably should be running commentary from the Visible Wife.
Do you want to come out to TwitchCon?
I don't know.
Do you know what I do?
But I have a lot to say about that time period.
Do you want to, and this is, I've not announced this, but something got decided in the last few weeks. And it was when my 10-year-old daughter walked up and said,
That's the one.
Dad, can I go to VidCon?
Yeah.
And I had that moment of like, I've not been to VidCon, but I've been told about what it will be like for me if I show up at VidCon. Let me loosely describe what VidCon is like. And by the way, if you've not heard, VidCon is, in general, a massive amount of people who are excited for YouTube stuff and a bunch of content creators who are unaccustomed to fans who are meeting their favorite creators for the first time. And as a result, there's a bunch of institutional policies about, like, you don't go anywhere without security. You don't go anywhere without us knowing.
If you've ever been to the Anaheim Convention Center for like BlizzCon or something, you understand that there's a lot for a very spacious, high capacity venue. There's a lot of corners and choke points and stuff like that. So it's like you can't exactly. It ain't exactly a football field. It ain't the Rose Bowl where you can just have a hard day's night of somebody running around. Like someone's gonna die. Going through a glass door if there's not stuff there.
So everybody I've ever asked about VidCon, I've said, hey, should I go? And they're all like, it's great in two situations. Number one, you're king of the world and you're looking for brand people all in one place so you can sell off your awesome sauce to the highest bidder, or you're somebody who has never experienced people clapping for you and you would like to see people clap for you and ask for your autograph. As somebody who has experienced the second one, with 20 years of fucking live touring or whatever, but and not qualified for the first, I have not gone. But it changes everything now that I have the chance to really impress my 10-year-old daughter.
To be a big shot for your daughter.
It would be really fun for me. So I don't know if I'll get anything financially or whatever about it, but I know that she'll get to see the people.
You do know the CEO.
Okay, yes, I do.
Who's the CEO?
Jim Louderback.
Oh, shit! Seriously?
I've not brought any of this up. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God!
Again, again, look, I know, and here's what's funny, is I know Jim Louderback did me favors because his son, I guess I shouldn't mention names, his son was a fan, and I was kind and showed him attention, and it meant a lot to him.
What I'm saying is, I think you can get booked. I think it's a life booking opportunity.
Yeah, Josie has been watching people play video games and like has this little group that she follows. And so,
how funny is it that like the convention itself, I don't see what's there for me, but I am so thrilled to spend 4 days to just cement in my child's inner mind this moment that I don't know.
This is what we do to freak her out.
We don't need to freak her out. She's gonna be freaked out.
No. We just take. There's like this group of people. They all play games together, and then we just take them to dinner one night. And then we're like, yeah, we'll pick up your dinner, but our daughter wants to meet you. You know. And then we like, I don't know, because they're gonna have to eat. We're gonna have to eat. We're all gonna eat.
What?
The same place.
I'm sorry. So your plan is. We reach out secretly to all of our favorite YouTubers, and at the most important con of the year for them, we seduce them into going to dinner.
No, I think that Brian, you walk up with like an unplugged Xbox One controller and a backwards hat, and you're like, "Hey, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell, fellow kids. Anyway, who wants to get some sweet grub? It's my treat, dog."
This is too close to what I would actually do.
No!
I don't like it. Like, hey man, are you guys still thinking about that game on? Canceled. Hashtag too soon. It was the Firefly of game shows. Am I right?
For the audio listeners, Brian just keeps pointing up in the air like he's like both hands are the disco hand. He can never more highly acknowledge the ceiling.
I'm just saying it'd be cool to have like some real one-on-one, not just like, hi, I get your autograph, but just to hang out for like
I
a
think,
little bit
yeah.
of time. You know what I'm saying?
This is all possible. And this is the longest first segment in all of recorded history. But we do have a big...
Turns out there's a lot for us to talk about.
We have one big thing to talk about, and that is DragonCon, of course, which is coming up Labor Day this year, has for, Jesus, years and years and years been a signature event for every version of this show. From BB Live Show, Night Attack, and NSFW show.
Is this our 8th year? I think it is.
Might be.
Yeah.
Might
7th
be.
or 8th.
Let's just say that if there's ever a year you wanted to see me and Justin at DragonCon, this would be the year.
Because this is our last year.
Or at least that's the plan. We've been on automatic renewal for a while, and it's a lot. It's a lot to go and do that. And unlike DEF CON, where we're selling shit, we do DragonCon just because we love it. And there's literally no other reason. We get nothing out of the industry. We get nothing out of contacts. We
Well, I mean, look.
The first couple of years,
this is gigantic. This is a gigantic community event. It has been the signature place where we have gone and had a really, really good time. It's just all things pass and all things change and all things evolve, and this is a tremendous expenditure that we can reassign. You know, that we've road tested doing live shows where we're looking into more kind of touring. And it's not to say that we won't do it again. All I'm saying is that as of right now, the show that we are going to do this Labor Day, the thing that we are going to do this Labor Day will be gigantic. It will be awesome because we are treating this like it's our last Dragon Con.
I really hope it's our 8th year, because then this could be the 8 = D last year. Like, how great would that be? 8 = death would be the name of it. But it probably isn't. I'm probably wrong about that.
But yeah, look, this is not something that we came to easily, and the reason why we're even saying it now is because we wanted to make sure that people, if you were on the fence about like, maybe I do it this year, maybe I'll save up for next year, fucking hit those credit cards, dog, because there will likely not be a Night Attack live show next year.
Which, by the way,
this is it.
All of which, please keep in mind that all of this comes from a place that in our personal budget, Dragon Con comes purely out of the personal joy budget. And we have loved it every single year, and it has been our happiest time. And we want to make sure that every single time we think of Dragon Con, we think of how much we loved it and enjoyed everything about it.
Yeah, and again, not to say that we won't be there in the future, not to say that there won't be elements of either of us later, but
it just won't be automatic.
As far as we guarantee, this is it.
It has been automatic for the last several years, and hey, let's focus on how good this year is going to be, not anything else.
Apparently
this is year 9. 9 = D. The
way.
Lance
We've done it
Armstrong.
9 years? Are you fucking kidding me? We've got 9 years.
9 years. And by the way, as of the last schedule, unless it has changed on us, we are back to our original time slot, Sunday night, the one that we love the most, because it clears the way. It's not conflicting with every other fucking rave, and Jon Stewart does a keg stand, fucking panel. This is going to be awesome. We're back where we belong time-wise, and I think this is going to be fucking absolutely rad.
Man, I thought this was going to be the best one at Dragon Con 8 = D, but it turns out that it's Dragon Con of a Dragon 99999.
So there we go. I know a little bittersweet, but it is something that we did want to put on people's schedule. Sorry that we didn't have an announcement on this earlier. Sorry, man. There's a lot that goes on.
This is more heads up than we typically give for any live event. So I understand
We're literally
that
giving a heads up for a non-appearance over a year from now.
Well, even to Labor Day, this is multiple.
Also interlaced with all the appearances we're definitely making over the next 4 months.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Bryce didn't know about TwitchCon.
Did not know about TwitchCon. Did not know about that. No.
So this is you were lucky. In fact, I don't even know if Bryce, when did you know that this was going to be our last Dragon Con?
About 30 seconds ago.
I didn't tell him. Sorry.
Yeah.
Of course, it would be the year when I started
like,
really getting into cosplay.
Ryan and I make a decision because it's so rare that it just thunders through the rest of the universe that like our decision is so like, well, we did it. We made a decision, and Brian and I shake hands and then forget to tell anybody.
Tell anybody else.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you are not so pissed off at us, you can go to patreon.com/nightattack to support this very program. Go ahead and get early access to our pre-show and after show via the custom RSS feed that you get right there by becoming a patron. And by the way, I found this out today because I started the new Jury Daily Patreon, and I had a bunch of people complaining about Pocket Casts. If you have Pocket Casts, apparently you're not able to add easily just on your phone, Patreon feeds.
So
You have to-
obviously now what we do is we demonize Pocket Casts.
Well, no. But let's give the way that they can do it, and then we can shit on them.
Okay.
Do is go to the Pocket Cast website and submit the RSS feed to their directory. It stays private, so at least they're not like exposing everybody's private RSS feeds. But once you do that, you'll be able to add it on your app. It's a shitty, hacky workaround. Pocket Cast can actually just make their shit fucking work. But if you have that and you haven't been able to do it, it's not your fault. It's not your phone. That's the way around to do it. If Pocket Cast is your preferred way to listen to shit.
Justin, I'm so glad you said it. If you missed it, Justin, clear as day, said that the way to fix this is to @reply Pocket Casts on Twitter,
why I pulled up the
saying, how do I support Night Attack and get my own RSS feed for the full 3 hours instead of this shitty hour and change that I get otherwise?
So this is maybe old news, but hopefully news you can use. You might also be able to just paste the URL into the search feed, into the search box. You might that might also be a way you can subscribe.
In which case,
no. That's what you have. You have to. They have a workaround on their site.
So
I don't know whether or not this happened at a certain point. If they used to work before and now they don't work. All I know is that if you're signing up right now, it has been a problem that people have brought up to me, and it's enough of a problem for them that they have put a workaround up on their site. So
and when
if
that works,
that's what you.
When that works, makes absolutely sure to thank our friends over at Pocket Casts on Twitter, saying I'm glad that I was able to paste my RSS feed into my app.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So patreon.com/Night Attack. Thank you very much.
Hey,
but of course, Brian.
Before we get into this, let me just say, I think we have a tendency to undersell just how great the entire, Patreon RSS experience is. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
We have a pretty good track record of late, having at least one moment in the pre-show and one moment in the after show that I'm very sad not everybody gets. So I'm going to say it's worth doing, and that's the last I'll speak of it. Because
last week, if you missed it, Odocto called back into the after show, and he played the rest of the game with us. We played the second half of that game.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff. Mikey's episode, we had a great conversation in the after show about that.
Yep. But meanwhile, if you're a new contributor or if you up your pledge, then you have your chance to randomly have your name shouted out during a little thing that we like to very slowly get ready to insinuate that we're gonna maybe start called the
Ladies and gentlemen. Finish your sentence, goddammit. Come on, we got a show to do. The Night Attack. New Patreon name chant corner hour. It's an hour of it.
Yo. Do I give his full name or no? It says new Patreon, and it gives a first name, initial, and a last name. Is that fair game?
Just give the first name and the initial.
Man, it's my dad's name. What's up, Alan One, two Alan P's for you.
3, 4 Alan P's more.
5, 6 Alan P's on sticks.
7, 8 Alan P masturbate.
No, he pees so great. 9, 10 Alan P's again. What a great way to make our sponsors feel beloved.
I didn't know your shit.
Eventually, we're like 122, 123.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody who raises their Patreon or becomes a new patron. But also, Brian, this is when we have to tell a little story here for 1 minute and 1 minute only. The floodgates are open if you would like to subscribe to the channel via Twitch. Of course, on Prime, you can do it for free. Just go ahead and look up Twitch Prime. You know, the skills cat of it all is something that I find very, very interesting.
I didn't mention I was at the airport and I saw, I saw Jeff Bezos and I was just like, give me 10 Vex money. And I punched him in the gut. Actually, and he was just like, Sooth, I can't believe you punched me in the gut. And then I ripped open his shirt and he says, Zex McDonald didn't give you permission for that. And I said, I apologize. My son, Agent Sign, told me never to do that again. And then he says, well, you can buy me hot beverages to make up for it. And I've said, well, guess what, Jeff? I got a Scooper Nova girl for you. And then he's like, what's that? And I said, get some. And I handed him a beverage. And he was just like, ooh, tastes like dead polymers. I don't understand why you even gave that to me. I was like, because we want to steal your money, Jeff Bezos. And everybody can subscribe for free on our Twitch channel. And it's your $5, but we want half of it right now for free. And he said, that's a pretty good, compelling argument. Thank you.
There we go.
True story. True story.
How are the bits looking right now, Justin? We're not at the end of the show, but who's the
right
bit
now?
boss
Our
so
top
far?
three are Skills Cat, Jordan Moss, and J.H. Meyer III. But it is tight. If you want to be our bits champion that we shout at the end of the show, then go ahead and get your bits in now. Brian, I think it's about time that we focused on you this episode. So what's going on?
I have something that I want to share, but I just realized that something amazing happened that I forgot to share from our crazy adventure. There was this moment that we're all driving on the 10, and then all of a sudden we hear this chip chip, and then somebody swerves into our lane, and then
Guess who it was, Justin?
all of us were shocked at who went into our lane.
Guess.
Who could it be in Los Angeles?
Yeah, do you have a guess,
Bonnie D?
Bonnie?
No. In Los Angeles?
I'll give you a hint. It was the
And they went
California Highway Patrol, and everybody simultaneously shouted a thing.
Yes. Chips, bitch.
And then immediately I thought, what if he heard us?
I don't remember Chips bitch.
It was from the movie Draft. You might have
you
missed
don't
that.
watch the show.
And that's
Usually
our
we-
word.
Well, that's Cargill's word, but
We get to use the word bitch. He doesn't.
they're jokes.
Wait, no, but Chips belongs to him. All right, so I have a story I wanted to tell, and I don't know if it's a good story or not, but I hinted at it, and you seemed to appreciate that there was potential there. Do you want to share the setup for this, Justin?
Wait. Was Justin saying he has something he wants to say?
Nope.
'Cause you've talked a lot.
No, that's
no,
how he was setting it up
saying
because
that
we were going
I
to do another
definitely
Brian
talked
story.
a lot, and he's realizing that our setup second bit is
Yeah,
much
the-
more
the-
of me
the
talking
second
a
bit
lot.
that we talked about is totally about Brian and a very personal Brian story.
Yes.
So Brian told me about a very funny series of text messages that he got from Bonnie.
Yeah.
Because there is, you guys communicate a lot, and Brian obviously is not only working at the office and will increasingly be at the new puppy compound, but also specifically when he's out in LA. It's like you guys got to communicate on a lot because there's a lot going on with the girls and life and business and everything else. So a lot of Bonnie. Let me ask you this: on an average day, how much of your communication with Brian is by text message?
All of it. It's like I don't see him.
Put a percentage on it.
Like, no, I would say 95%. And then right before he walks into podcasting, I say, yeah, but I really need to talk to you before you go in.
That's your time slot. That's what you get.
Yes.
So you would say that your text communication is vital for your not only relationship, but also your shared responsibility as parents.
Exactly.
So, going back in time, this is back May 8th, 2016. My feed with me and my girl Bonnie, because you know how the iPhones work. It's like so you could send stuff from your email address, or you can send stuff from your phone or whatever.
Yeah. There's a million. I mean, they've tried to decentralize what used to be just the phone text message. The SMS app is now messages, and you can respond on your watch, you can respond on your computer, you can respond on your phone, on your iPad, whatever you want, right?
Right. So going back May 7th, 2016, is me sending to Bonnie a photo of me and Patrick Delahanty, a new father, and me saying the message, missing you. And she says, "Aw, thanks for the picture." And then I get a Bitmoji of Bonnie dressed as a dog saying, "Can't wait to see you." And then I get her sleeping on the moon to indicate that she's going to bed. So I write, "I love you." And I mentioned, Svet and Patrick want colored pictures. Are you up? And then regular talk for this time in May 8th, 2016. We were just landing, and I realized I need to see Civil War for spoiler in time. Want to go see it tomorrow AM with me. And then the next day, I say, "Yo, any chance you can join me to see Civil War?" No.
Now, right up till this moment, this, I think everybody would understand, is a very healthy relationship between a married couple and parents of three. This is model, like if you were to sample it, like it were the Amazon River, like you'd be like, this is a healthy biome. This is working well.
Yeah. So Bonnie says, "No, I have a meeting. I'm home. If I'm home at 10:30, can you go? Ask your dad." And by which she meant ask my dad to go with me to see that movie. Then I send her a picture of something, and then she says, "When are you getting home? I have to load my pieces. I fed the kids already." I'm like, "I headed back now." Cool. Music teacher will be here at 6. "Why are these messages not coming from your phone?" I ask. And she says, "I'll be back 7-ish. And then she writes, I'm not going to say what she writes next because that'll be important. And then next message, a cat nodding up and down with the words "Merry Christmas" floating above.
Now, when is this text sent?
January, a little bit late.
A little late on Christmas. By the time that January rolls around, you're already, past New Year's. There's already another major holiday by the time that January rolls around.
Next message, the same cat saying "Merry Christmas." Next message, this same cat saying "Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas." And then I respond, and again, we're all human. I respond, "Eat?" And followed by a clarification, "What?" W-A-T. And then next response is a sleeping cat penguin and a woman removing something from a post office box, a ballerina shaking flowers over his head. YYHIC FFFXXXXXRG MK Vision.
All right. Hold on. Now, I described previously that the communications that you had with Bonnie were indicative of a healthy relationship. And certainly Bonnie has shown a lot of predilection for the Bitmoji. She is expanding her text game, as it were. But it does seem a little weird that on purpose she would send a past due Christmas cat 7 times in a row. and then just responding with random letters. Brian, are you assuming that Bonnie is just accidentally like sitting on her phone? Or,
I mean, that's exactly right, because I'm thinking butt dialing, right? And so I see a bunch of characters that would be consistent with butt dialing, and it says, well, is my dad now, I love my mom, who everyone who ever ate oatmeal, Okie. Followed by...
Now, she did ask you and your dad, to go see Civil War.
Followed by this picture of my 5-year-old. And at which point I realize what very likely is happening and respond with this picture back at her. And now
Describe the picture. Describe it.
It's me with a frowny face, like quite literally. I could just do the...
Exactly where you are right now. It is behind the mic on your studio set.
So at this point, I realize, oh wait, Callie has Bonnie's old phone, and but that's fine. It'll just be occasional noise from this account that comes from her, and so
I got a phone for Christmas from Brian,
yes,
very lovingly, with the case and everything, and then so Callie inherited mine, but it's not. It doesn't have a SIM card. It's just
correct. It's for
like all her
watching
little silly
Netflix
cards,
or whatever.
all her silly games are on there. So.
I get a lot of emojis, a lot of heart icons, and I respond with a crying happy face, and then a lot more emoticons. I've not listened to this. Goodness, let's see.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Here we go. No, you probably can't. And what sounds like her. So at this point, it's like watching an AI come online, right? So everything is gibberish and emojis. And at this point, as best I can figure, she's figured out that she can press buttons on the keyboard or press different keyboard and do like a Giphy thing, right?
Yeah. Which, by the way, it gives you a whole new appreciation for emojis when you realize, like, oh wait, my 5-year-old can communicate with me in a rudimentary fashion. That's kind of really cool.
Yeah, and then I get eat who, daddy? And then it's like as if it's an AI coming to consciousness. It says, when can you do, daddy? I love my mom. My mom. So I just said, get out. And run L2L, spell Callie to dad because I love him, and spell Kylie to dad because I love my dad because he's amazing and kind and better than everyone else, and hunt now.
Now, I am not familiar. I am not a parent. I have not watched this revolution 3 times at this point, but I would... imagine that aside from the gibberish, those words are not exactly a full paragraph, even of disjointed text, is beyond a 5-year-old, correct?
At this point, I don't know. Quite honestly, I suspect that she's figured out that she can press the microphone button and speak, and what she thinks is her words are appearing. And so then we keep on going. We're like, I love my mom so much. I love my dad so much that from mom, this is your mom from your dad, and mom, this is mom from dad, everybody, and the and then, as if like I was about to write it off, suddenly a text says, did you want me to come and get Callie so you could stay longer? To which I respond, sure, that'd be great. And response is, I'm here at the cafe getting lunch. When you are able to pick Callie up, bring her this way. The parent who checks them in has to check them out. Okay, coming down now. Smiley face. Now
so wait a minute. So now this is a shared account between Callie and Bonnie. So Bonnie is getting all these messages as well?
I don't think she knows they're outgoing.
I don't see them. Like, I don't see Callie's messages. I only see Brian's responses.
April 4th. Time to get up. Wednesday. Daddy, oh daddy, you are amazing and sad. Picture of a seal. don't feel both the same thoughts or go phone. I like the photo dogs. And I would be about the same with someone of a little Shane. Send to Brian Brushwood. Fan to Weant. What's the word? Photo of a pig. Make it someday. I might. I'm not going to read all of this stuff. Gibberish. More gibberish. Bought some boots. They're both in the same boat in bold. Poop.
Now that I do think she's typing out. She's learned how to spell.
Picture of a sperm whale with hearts. Love you, Dad, so much. You know what? I love you, Dad. I just need a little time to get back by the dog. Like I just need a little time to get back my little crime.
That sounds like a Fleetwood Mac song. Holy shit, that was good. Those are good lyrics.
I love you, Dad, and you know it. I love you, Dad. I just need a little time to get back to the dog. Like I need a little time to get back to my little crime. And I love my whole daddy, and you're the picture of a sperm whale with hearts. By the way, every single one of these coming in.
I just need a little crime to get back to the time to get back to the daddy. I love you.
All of these say they're coming from Bonnie Brushwood. Another sperm whale with hearts. Love you so much, Daddy, and you're the best daddy's girl.
Yeah, I love you so much. You're the best daddy's girl, Brian.
Again, like a fucking sucker. I keep thinking this is Bonnie texting me, and then I read this shit.
Time, because you have the X, right? You have the iPhone 10, right?
Yes,
so it's like,
correct.
The way, if you don't have the iPhone 10, because it has the facial recognition, when you first get a text message, the default, unless you change it,
it says you
have
a text from
like magic eyeball, like a presto changeo. So it just says whoever it's from and then message, and then you look at the phone and it changes. So every time there's always at least 2 seconds where you're like, oh shit, Bonnie's texting me.
And then you look at it.
Need a little crime to get back to the dog. I love you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. Panda, sperm whale.
It's so a bunch of gibberish, and then more gibberish, and then she says, then to Daddy, now, send it to Daddy, Brushwood. I mean, send to Brian Brushwood, is what it says.
Oh, she was trying to tell Siri to send the message.
More, like, so much gibberish. Followed by send to Dad. I mean, send to Brian Brushwood. More gibberish. Followed by, did you find Brushwood? That password was worried. Then there's a gif of Jake from Adventure Time going to bed. And then it says, Daddy, this is me. When I get them to bed, okay with this. And send to Blame Bush Road to do wood. Daddy... It's amazing, and you know that day, thanks Daddy is amazing, and you're nowhere today, and you got busted by gibberish gun emojis. Daddy feed...
guns?
Well, I mean, it's just a bunch of emojis. Daddy feed kittens all me every day. There are mean girls on me. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm just super sad to do.
God damn it. I wish we had Mike TV here. Mike TV would be able to make amazing songs out of all of these.
No. I don't know. Oh, dear. What happened here? Oh, no, it was you, not to get the people. Shining happy sun. Animated GIF.
Oh my fucking god, that is amazing.
I think we're in the home stretch here. Let's see. And by the way, do you think that she's voice dictating all this, or do you think she's hitting the nonsense predictive words?
So the two main theories that we were talking about when you first brought this up was that either she is just hitting the predictive text over and over, and she's like picking of the three options. she's picking the one that she likes the best over and over and over again. Although I don't know whether or not it's smart, like if she types daddy once, if then daddy pops up again in the predictive text. I mean, I know it is there to make sentences if you hit the button over and over and over again.
Right. So I'll tell you what, you make your own distinction, but if you could give me some poetry music here,
And by the way,
Bryce.
wait a minute. Jackie Hurd nails it. No, 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 no. Daddy, what happened here? The Lost Duran Duran song.
All right. Imagine a bunch of emojis, and until I hear music, I'll describe them. Tea, champagne, popcorn, bacon, avocado, pizza, 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 sandwich, bread, pretzel, Big Mac. Food, food. Everything is used, the mini mood, every food, pomegranate, to pomegranate. I just don't know what you decided. Maybe do you see? Even pizza from now. Cans even. I don't know. I have even candy. Don't forget, it's everything you could imagine. And what am I saying? To go to Brian Brushwood, Sleeping Sloth, SpongeBob emoji. And the rest is all gibberish and it's still showing up.
You got the timing just right, too. Nice on that.
I didn't know that was going to work out so well.
That was a good pick. You know,
Punch out right there. We got it. We got it. We're not going any further. We're not going any further with that. Ladies and gentlemen, beat poet, Callie Brushwood.
Callie beat poet.
Operating at a level that heretofore unseen in her age group.
the sad thing is that probably my actual texts are probably just gibberish enough that it's hard. You just get fooled by them because I'm always on the go.
You're the one that has created the Callie Turing test and made it difficult for me to understand who's who.
Like I'm texting as I'm walking and slapping sun butter on a sandwich. So I'm like, it's just like capitals are all weird and my spellings are strange and.
There's you know what? We'll read the rest of this in the after show. Hey man, you want to take a moment and do the movie draft minute?
Yeah, absolutely. If Bryce is ready, there we go.
Radio.tv for the week of July 30th, 2018. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. So I'm not one to declare a winner early, but, well, let's just go through the numbers and you'll see. Team Core Killers is in 6th place, $453.5 million. Team Chips Bitch is in 5th place at $502 million. Team Tell It Anyways in 4th place, $453.8 million. Team Night Attack is in 3rd place, $714.2 million. Team DTNS is in 2nd place at $767.7 million. And in 1st place, Mission Impossible Fallout bringing in $68 million, bringing the total to $924.5 million. It's Team John Trekker. And that is your Movie Draft Minute for the week of July 30th, 2018.
Yo. I got nothing to say about that draft because we lost. That game is totally stupid and nobody should play it, and we never acknowledged that we participated in it.
What a weird long tone for the movie draft corners these take every year.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we're optimistic that it's a good idea for a game, but eventually we realize it's a bad game and nobody should care about it. So,
at a certain point, everything's got to run its course. So we're officially canceling the movie draft as well as Dragon.
We got totally hosed. Hey, how did you like that Mission Impossible movie?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Wait,
Bryce liked it, except
did
for the
like
parts that he fell asleep during.
I did fall asleep during the chase in France.
Also, I was really glad when that came out during Cord Killers last night, because I definitely did, and I thought it's because I was a bad watcher, and both of us had
We had a
gotten
very
up at,
early
like,
day that
like
day.
4 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
But we invited our friend Rob Krekel, and we bought him a ticket, and Rob sat next to me, and during that I realized I had dozed off, and I was horrified that for a second Rob Krekel, who by the way knows a little bit about sound engineering, might have heard the sound engineering of me snoring in the seat next to him, and that was terrifying.
Yeah. It was otherwise a good movie.
So good?
Good. Confusing, kind of intentionally complicated in the story department.
That's those movies, right? Anytime that you're fucking ripping off 17 faces to reveal other faces that you're gonna rip off, like, you know, that's kind of the shtick.
Yeah, I've watched a little more than half of all those movies, and I just realized that I feel like a
popcorn
sucker.
films.
Well, but more importantly, like, I feel like a sucker because they open with a video game style giant information dump. And like a dumbass, I sit there thinking like, okay, there's this guy and there's 37 apostles of him, and it's important that I remember this because nope, it's not important. That's not the movie. Fuck you. You're dumb for having watched that.
It's table setting though. It's place setting. You have to at least have the keywords out there.
Here's the weird thing about that franchise though. I know that Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt. I have no idea who any of those other. I know that Ving Rhames is in the movie. I know Simon Pegg's in the movie. I know
Baldwin's in it?
Superman's in the movie. Whatever the fuck his real name is.
Henry Cavill.
Like, yeah, I know that all those people are in there. I have no idea what their character names are, and even like Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg have been in there for fucking. You know, Ving Rhames has been since the first one.
Two things. Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg, part of a side effect of this being the 7th, 12th movie that they're in. Yeah, like, they very clearly established the rules, or that they're made of rubber and they're immortal. So as a result, anytime they appear to be in peril, I don't believe it, I don't feel it, and I got nothing, right? Don't worry about everything you don't know, because the dialogue makes sure to awkwardly stop and say, isn't that your old wife who you cared a lot about and you got out of the game because you couldn't handle your wife being in danger? Well, that looks like her and she's back in the game, even though we're here in this camp where hopefully a nuclear bomb wouldn't go off because it would definitely sully and poison all the water for a lot of people. Are you caught up yet? But don't worry about Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg because they're invulnerable.
Spoil the entire movie in a sarcastic voice guy.
Also, what they do in the first 10 minutes. Like, quite literally what they do in the first 10 minutes.
But still.
But no, I would like it if like, so opening on Jakku, Ray is a scavenger.
I hope you don't mind that she's an orphan, because she really is sad about losing her parents. She doesn't really remember them, though, but she does remember that ship. Remember when you were remembering that ship, Ray, and it was up in the sky, and you were thinking, I think my parents are up in that?
Well,
listen to this.
Portions. All right, everybody. Diamond Time is where you can shout out your project right here on the show. Head on over to reddit.com/r/Diamond Club or diamondclub.reddit.com. And you can shout it out right there. It's a sticky post at the top of the page. We're in top, right?
Yes. You may want to refresh just to make sure, but yes.
Top one is Lawfulophagus?
Possibly. I also am going to refresh. Yes. No, Fitz. Looks like Fitz is the top here.
Okay, hold on. Let me refresh, because last time we did this same thing.
Yeah.
Too. There we go.
The thing is, we have to take it out of contest mode, and we sometimes.
But also, it's so fun that we do this every week. It feels familiar, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is the part where they don't know what order to read the stories in." You're welcome, regular listeners.
Fitz writes. This is Fitz. I know y'all know that I hate asking for anything, but for my wife, I'd ask for the world. Her mother's really bad off. She's on breathing support because she's septic. Enough depressing stuff. If you have a buck to throw at my wife and her mother. It would mean the world to me, even if you can't donate, if you can spread the word. Thank you. Go to YOLO420.com/helpfits. That is HELPFITZ.
Switch from top. I finally
So
found...
the next one is from Rex Stardust.
Yeah, there you go. Go.
Oh, okay. Hello, Diamond Group and all the ships at sea. My stepdaughter from a previous marriage is suffering from pregnancy complications that require her to be on 100% bed rest in the hospital. She is also in extreme pain due to these complications. Her mother has the time to look after her and her family, but she needs to drop everything and move across the country to do so. Dropping everything can be expensive in certain areas, so I'm hoping folks in the community can pitch into her GoFundMe. You can go to the donation page at YOLO420.com/safebabyswag. That's all lowercase and all one word, safebabyswag, to make a contribution. Anything is sincerely appreciated. I care a lot for my stepdaughter. I wish I could do more for her, but I hope the Diamond Club community can pitch in. Thank you, Rex Stardust.
Hey, man.
That would be Gladstone. Gladstone's the third one that we'll do.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Gladstone says, hey, Diamond Club. I don't actually have anything important to promote, so hopefully this doesn't get read after any sort of very kind or otherwise altruistic post. Bad news, Gladstone. But those of you who enjoy Overwatch may enjoy listening to my podcast, Gladstown, where I just posted an episode recorded at and around the Overwatch Grand Finals in Brooklyn. And the initial idea for the show certainly wasn't heavily influenced by any other single mic shows run by hipsters, so don't even ask. I wonder if he's talking about you, Bryce. You can find the
Everyone
main
knows Video Games with
feed.
Bryce is a two-person show.
You can find the main feed at YOLO420.com/intellectual property theft swag. All one word. Or search Gladstown, that's 2 Ds, on your local podcatcher.
Of course, if you want to shout out your project, you can do it right here in the show. Reddit.com/r/Diamond Club. Diamond Club.reddit.com. Big old sticky post at the top of the page.
Justin, I feel like it's really special to me that a decade in, we're so good at taking turns of letting the other person hog the mic, because I definitely hogged the mic all night tonight, and you have been a very good friend for letting me do that. I appreciate that.
Well, tell you what, you got a lot going on. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, what did we learn though?
Well, Brian, we learned whale heart emoji. Brian Push Road.
I just banged my head.
What hard
You
part
made me
of
laugh so hard I injured myself. We also learned that Mile 22 is a fine action movie, I assume.
August 17th.
Can't wait to see it. Because I certainly know all the choreographers are rad ass.
We learned get your ass to Atlanta this Labor Day. It is going to be fucking going off at DragonCon this year.
Hells yeah. We also learned, or were reminded, that, of course, you can get 3 full hours of our horse shit if you're a Patreon at patreon.com/Night Attack. Also, Die in a Fire!
Thank you to J. Edgemeyer III for being our bit boss this episode. See you next Tuesday.
Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. I love you.
Die in the sperm
Diamond
whale.
Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.